number 17, Pat Dwyer. At cornerback, number 21, Dana Atwood. At linebacker, number 23, Jeff McFerrin. At linebacker, number 24, Captain Frank Vaccaro. At cornerback, number 46, Mike Stempek. At defensive end, number 51, Captain Mark Barassa. At defensive tackle, number 54, Greg Verachakian. At defensive tackle, number 70, Frank Parisi. At defensive tackle, number 77, Leonard Downey. And at linebacker, number 88, Jacob Conway. And now, the starting lineup for the Essex Junction Hornets. We will introduce the seniors who will be playing in the last home game. The first two seniors aren't able to play this year due to injury. Tim Dunhauer. Number 65, Kurt Holmes. Number 11, Josh Ganillo. Number 40, Derek Hansen. Number 43, Dan Rexford. Number 50, Paul Duchesne. Number 62, Roland Trumbull. Number 64, Shane Zappa. Number 66, Rob Perkins. Number 71, Andy Swain. Number 75, Brian Gartner. Number 81, Jeremy Camp. Number 86, Jeff Snyder. And number 90, Jason LaFave. Number 66, co-captain, Josh Jerome. And number 44, co-captain, Stephen Fry. And the rest of the Essex Junction Hornets.
And we've had the playing of our national anthem, the Essex Band. We're set to go here momentarily. Again, the Raiders won the toss. They'll be receiving, going right to left here in the first quarter. Essex kicking off, going left to right. Great crowd here. We're on the Essex side. Not a bad contingent across the way from Rutland High. Hard to believe in Allo, but just 2 games to go in the regular season. This football season has just zipped on by.
Well, we'd certainly like to see it 2 more games in the regular season, and then, of course, on into the playoffs. And really, it's so confusing, and the whole playoff picture at this point is muddled. We come into this game tonight thinking that both Rutland and MSJ are technically eliminated. However, we arrive tonight, we read the press publication, and we find out that maybe that's not so. So this game is taking on even more importance from the Rutland Raiders standpoint. If they come out and win this game, and they host MSJ next Saturday, win that game, and a couple of teams, most notably Essex, Brattleboro perhaps, lose their last 2, anything can happen.
Funny part about this breaking ties and who goes to the playoffs and what have you, it's always been very confusing, and to tell you the truth, nobody's really ever explained it to me. It's a system that sort of changes every year, but at any rate, it will be Derek Hansen doing the booting for Essex, and Frankie Vaccaro and Mike Stempek back deep for the Raiders as we get set for this matchup. Beautiful night for football here at Essex. Here's Hansen's boot, and it will be a line drive. It'll bounce to an up man at the 25, across the 30. It's John Watson across the 35 and out to about the 37-yard line. John Watson, one of the up men, dropped at the 37, and the Raiders will go on the offense. Jeff Snyder onto the tackle. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders, going right to left here in the first quarter. The Raiders have it at their own 37-yard line.
Important now for Rutland to come out with some sort of enthusiasm offensively here tonight, get a drive going, and obviously punch it in the end zone, or at least come out of this drive with something showing on the scoreboard. Look for Vaccaro, as we've said it all year long, to get something going off the tackles around the outside of the line of scrimmage and run McFerrin right up the middle to soften that defense up to allow Pinney to throw as this game wears on.
Mark Barassa is the center. Brian Pinney, the senior quarterback. Couple of setbacks. McFerrin and Vaccaro offset. Wide right is McIntyre. Call to Vaccaro. Straight ahead. Scoots across the 40. Out to about the 43-yard line. A pickup of about 6, close to 7 yards. And it will be 2nd down, about 4 for the Raiders. The tackle made by Stephen Fry. We're just underway. The Raiders receiving the opening kickoff. And the Raiders have it 2nd down, about 4 at their own 43-yard line. Again, the right side hash mark. Again, they got a man wide right and a man slot right. A couple of setbacks, McFerrin and Vaccaro. And in motion is the slot back, right to left, Mike Stempek. Here's the pitch to McFerrin, takes it left against the grain to the 45 to the 50-yard line. 1st down and more for McFerrin, a pickup of 7, and the Raiders have it 1st and 10. Ralph Perkins on the tackle for Essex. The Raiders have it 1st and 10, just shy of the 50-yard line.
Well, that's what makes that starting backfield so tough to defend for the Rutland offense, is the fact that Vaccaro has the speed and quickness to get to the outside, and McFerrin, as we just saw, has the ability to break things up the middle. A very, very dangerous tandem in the backfield.
Mayhew is in wide right, tight left is Bliss. 1st and 10, Raiders at the 50-yard line. In motion now, right to left, Stempek. Vaccaro and McFerrin are the setbacks. We're just underway. Pinney rolls right, looking to throw, shoots right, and it's incomplete. He had Bliss, couldn't hang on down at the Essex 40-yard line. Bliss was there, couldn't come up with it, and it's 2nd and 10 for the Raiders at the 50-yard line.
Well, the fact that Rutland's first 2 plays offensively resulted in a gain of 6 yards and 7 yards, that enabled Pinney to use the play action and really get the linebackers drawn towards the line of scrimmage, and Bliss was open across the far side of the football field. He just couldn't gather the pass in.
McIntyre wide left as he's in for Mayhew. Got a man wide right as well. It is Stempek as Pinney barks him out. And the handoff to McFerrin. Huge hold inside the 45, 40, 35, and down at about the 30-yard line, just inside the 30, right around the 29 or so. Musha on the tackle. And let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at about the 27-yard line. A pickup of 33 yards and a 1st down for Jeff McFerrin. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Essex 27. Huge hole for McFerrin as he took it straight ahead. So the Raiders on the move, 2 first downs, and this is the opening drive of the football game. Again, McFerrin gets the call off right tackle. Takes it to about the 25, maybe the 24. Pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Jason LaFave on the tackle. 10 minutes remaining first quarter. This is the first drive of the football game. The Raiders are on the move. They have it 2nd and 7. And the ball marked at the Essex 24-yard line.
Oh, we're seeing quickness by McFerrin that time. The play before picked up 33. Nice spin move in the backfield that let him gain 3 on that last play.
Mayhew back in wide left, slot left to Stempeck. Second down for Brian Pinney and company. In motion as Vaccaro gets the pitch. Sweeps left, looking for room, and he turns the corner, breaks a couple of tackles inside the 20, down at about the 18-yard line. A pickup of 6 for Vaccaro. Derek Hansen on the tackle. The Raiders will have a 3rd down and a long yard. Raiders are going to have it at the Essex 19-yard line. 3rd down and a yard.
Vaccaro tried to get around the left side there. He cut it back towards the middle and picked up the 6 yards pretty much on his own effort. Had good blocking downfield, but again, he was trying to get to the outside and cut it back through the middle.
They mark it at the left side hash mark. Mayhew and Stempeck wide right. Couple of setbacks. Hand off to McFerrin off right tackle. He didn't get much, didn't need much.
Number 23, Jeff McFerrin.
Got it to about the 17, maybe the 18-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 18. He needed a yard, and it's close enough for a measurement as he picked up just about a yard. LaFave on the tackle for Essex, and they are going to measure this one. We'll see if the Raiders have their 3rd first down of the opening drive, or maybe 4th and short as they bring the sticks toward the middle of the field. And it's going to be a 1st down. 1st and 10 Raiders at the Essex 18-yard line.
A big break for the Rutland offensive unit. From our vantage point up here, Jack, it appeared as though he was a little bit short, and actually the way they spotted the football, and that's something that you've touched upon the entire season, looked like a generous home field spot here for the Essex Hornets, but nonetheless, they did get the 1st down, and McFerrin already on this opening drive, 44 yards on 4 carries.
So a 1st and 10 for the Raiders, the Essex 18. Wide left, Mayhew. Slot left is Stempeck. Couple of setbacks behind Brian Pinney. Bliss is tight on the right side. And the pitch goes to John Watson as he swept it left, and he's dropped at the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard. And we do have penalty markers down. Was that Watson or Conway? It was Conway.
Penalties against Rutland.
It is against Rutland. Just trying to... It is an illegal procedure call against the Raiders here. So they're going to mark it back to the 23-yard line. I was just trying to decipher if that was Watson or Conway on the...
I believe it was Conway.
It was Conway.
This drive, opening drive here for Rutland, very impressive. They've this will be the 8th play of the drive, and already they've had the ball about 5 minutes already off the clock.
And they have it 1st and 15 at the Essex 23. Illegal procedure called against the Raiders, and Brian Pinney wants a timeout. So the Raiders, who have picked up a few 1st downs here on the opening drive, have it 1st and 15 at the Hornet 23. Timeout on the field, no score, 8:13 remaining 1st quarter, and we'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Jack Healey back with Vince Allo. The Raiders have just called a timeout, their 1st, and they have it 1st and 15 at the Hornet 23-yard line. This is the opening drive of the football game. No score, 8:13 remaining 1st quarter. Stempeck in motion now, left to right as Pinney barks him out. McIntyre wide right, back to throw Pinney, but this is going to be whistled down with a penalty marker.
Too much time.
It's going to be a legal procedure against the Raiders. They're going to mark it back to the Essex 28, so the Raiders now have it 1st and 20.
Well, 7 plays on this opening drive, accumulating 56 yards according to statistician Nico Miles. In the last 2 plays, consecutive penalties surrounding a timeout call by the Rutland offense. So this drive is starting to skid as they got deep into Essex territory.
Now the Raiders 1st and 20 at the Essex 28-yard line. Left side hash mark. Pinney looking to throw, rolls right, throws right, incomplete. He wanted Vaccaro coming out of the backfield, and so the Raiders, who were picking up great yardage, have been rejected here on a couple of penalties, and now they have it a 3rd. Check it. They have it 2nd and 20. That was a 1st down play because of a consecutive penalty. My mistake. 2nd and 20 at the Essex 28-yard line. I might have said Second down before, but it is second down now. They had it 1st and 10, then a couple of penalties. 1st and 20, now it's 2nd and 20. Tom Ferrati is in wide left for the Raiders. In motion now left to right is Stempeck. Couple of setbacks, McFerrin and Vaccaro. Pitch to McFerrin. Sweeps right, then against the grain. And he puts his head down and gets it to about the 24-yard line. A pickup of 4. And it will be 3rd down and 16. Josh Jerome on the tackle. No score, 7:50 remaining here in the first quarter at Essex. A beautiful night for football. I'm going to mark it at the right side. Hash mark. Great crowd here from Essex as well. So the Raiders face with a 3rd down and about 16. They have it at the Hornet 24-yard line. Wide left is Ferrati. Also wide left is Stempeck. Inside handoff to McFerrin. 20-15. Still on his feet. Inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Jeff McFerrin. The Raiders are on the board. They lead at 6-0. 24-yard touchdown run for McFerrin. He just kept on bowling his way straight ahead. And he was breaking tackles and got into the end zone for the touchdown. The Raiders lead at 6-0. 7:21 remaining first quarter.
Power run at its finest form, that time by Jeff McFerrin. Right around the 5-yard line, he did his best Daryl Johnston imitation as he cleared out. The lone setback, the lone defensive player for Essex Junction was McEnroe Musha, and McFerrin just put his head down and lowered the boom and put Musha on his pants. Went into the end zone untouched after that.
McFerrin in to attempt the extra point. Ben Anderson, the holder. The Raiders are on the board. Anderson puts it down. The kick, a line drive, and it is good. Got the job done. Didn't look pretty, but it was good. It's 7-0 Raiders. 7:21 remaining first quarter. The Raiders score on the opening series of the ball game. And we'll be back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Jack Healey back with Vince Allo. So the Raiders impressive on their opening drive. It looked like they might have shot themselves in the foot with the 2 consecutive penalties and had it 1st and 20, but McFerrin taking it over from 24 yards out, breaking tackles en route to the end zone. McFerrin with the extra point, and the Raiders lead at 7-0.
And here's 2 names that you may have heard throughout the season for the Rutland Raider offense. Frankie Vaccaro on that drive, 12 yards on 2 carries, and the workhorse, Jeff McFerrin, 72 yards on 6 carries, and that's where all 84 yards on that drive came from, and backed up, of course, because they started at their own 37 by the 2 penalties. It took 10 plays, 4:39 off the game clock.
Conway kicking to either Musha or Bishop back deep, and it goes to Bishop at the 10-yard line. 15, 20, 25, 30. Straight ahead, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25 down the sideline. There he goes. Touchdown, Essex. 90 yards for a touchdown. It's 7-6 Raiders.
Just like that, the balloon has been inflated again. That long drive on the opening series by the Raider offense took all the air out of the balloon of this Essex Junction crowd. And tell you what, folks, all you have to do is just listen to the background. And that long run by number 25, Steve Bishop, the only thing that touched him on that drive was the leather of the football. He was gone down the near sideline, untouched. A couple Raiders had a shot at him, but he kicked it into overdrive, took it nearly the length of the field.
Well, he took it 90 yards. He grabbed it at about the 10-yard line and just took off, and he was virtually untouched. Gonillo in to attempt the extra point. Josh Gonillo. John Nelson is the holder. He puts it down. The kick by Gonillo is up and good, and just like that, Essex has come right back to tie it at 7-7. That coming with 7:06 remaining first quarter. Back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Well, Jeff McFerrin scoring for the Raiders, a 24-yard touchdown run. McFerrin with the extra point on the ensuing kickoff, a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Steve Bishop. And Josh Gonillo, who is a soccer player, Vince, he hasn't played in every football game, kicking the extra point to tie it at 7-7. Here's the Hansen kick, and that goes to Conway at the 25, across the 30, 35, puts his head down, gets it to the 37. So the Raiders, who were very impressive on their opening drive, will have it 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. That's McEnroe Musha on the tackle for the Hornets.
Just like that, game of momentum. Just like that, Bishop 90-yard kickoff return. gets this crowd back involved in the game, because that 10-play drive that got Rutland the opening touchdown really had them sitting on their hands. And just like that, in 15 seconds, he runs 90 yards to tie this football game.
Stempeck wide right, tight right is Bliss. It's McFerrin and Vaccaro the setbacks. McIntyre wide left. 1st and 10 for the Raiders, their own 37. We're tied up at 7 apiece. 6:40 remaining first quarter. Stempeck in motion right to left now. Handoff to Vaccaro off right tackle. Room to the 40. Frankie to the 45, to the 50, to the Essex 45. Down at the Essex 43-yard line. Frankie Vaccaro, 1st and 10 Raiders. The tackle made by Stephen Fry.
Well, you said room on that run right there, Jack. Vaccaro doesn't need much room. He's very small when he's out on the football field, but I tell you, it looks like a white piece of lightning out there once he turns the corner. And he got around the corner and picked up a big gain on 1st down for the Raiders. 20-yard pickup by Vaccaro. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Hornet 43-yard line. I think I've said this before, but this game's fun already. Here in the first quarter, 7-7, 6:15 remaining in the first quarter. Raiders have it 1st and 10. The Hornet 43-yard line. In motion now left to right is Stempeck. Ferrani is in. He's wide left. And the handoff now to McFerrin. Nothing there as he tried to take it off right tackle. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage and driven back by Stephen Fry and others. It's 2nd and 10 for the Raiders, the Hornet 43-yard line. Matter of fact, that lost about a half yard. We'll call it 2nd and 11 because the Raiders are going to have it at the Essex 44-yard line. Lost about a yard. Well, no mystery what the offensive plan is tonight here for Rutland. McFerrin and Vaccaro, and they're getting the job done here tonight. Mayhew is in now wide right. Bliss wide left. They got a slot left. And a wing on the right side. Back to throw, Penny. Here's it out long, and it is incomplete. Intended for Mayhew down around the Essex 8-yard line. Just ran out of room down there. Nicely thrown, really, by Penny, but just a little bit overthrown. If Mayhew came up with it, he would have been out of bounds. 3rd and 11 for the Raiders at the Essex 44. 7-7, 5:21 remaining first quarter. Well, again, if you're ground game is successful, which Rutland's has had a lot of success here early in the game, those passes will be open. Good coverage downfield by the Essex defense. And the double wing setup for the Raiders. Bliss wide left. They got a man wide right. McFerrin is the lone setback. 3rd and 11 for Penny and company. Penny back to throw, and the shuffle pass complete to McFerrin. And McFerrin gets it inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. A pickup of 6. Stephen Fry on the tackle. Just a little shuffle pass. And so the Raiders will be faced with a 4th down and about 5. They have it at the Essex 39. That's where they mark it. It picked up about 5. Well, that shuffle pass, very reminiscent of an NFL quarterback that will make Nico Miles very happy to hear his name tonight, Dan Marino. McFerrin back around the 50 to boot it away as the Raiders will boot it 4th and 5. Hansen is back deep, along with Jamie McWilliam for the Essex Hornets. And McFerrin from the 50-yard line angles it toward the far sideline. And it goes inside the 10. They blow it dead. No, it got into the end zone. It almost went out of bounds. He almost put the nail on the coffin corner. So a 39-yard punt by McFerrin. Line of scrimmage being the Essex 39-yard line. So Essex will go on the offense, and they will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First play from scrimmage coming up for the Hornets, because it was Bishop who returned the kickoff 90 yards for a touchdown after the Raiders score by McFerrin. The 90-yard return by Steve Bishop. It's 7-7, 5:02 remaining here in the first quarter. And our first opportunity to see which type of formation this Essex Junction offensive unit will start this game out with. John Nelson will be the quarterback. This is the junior quarterback. He and McWilliam alternate. They operate out of the wishbone. And the handoff goes to the first man, to the fullback, Mark Rayum. Nothing there. Gets driven back by a host of Raiders as he tried to take it straight and then took it right. McFerrin was there on the stop. No gain. Will be 2nd and 10 for the Hornets at the 20. Their own 20-yard line. Stephen Fry is in for Steve Bishop. They alternate a lot at the tackles. Let's see. Hansen and also Fry are the halfbacks out of the wishbone.
And Nelson on the handoff up the left side of Hansen. Breaks it open. 45-50, 45-40, 35. He is gone. Touchdown. Essex Hornets, Derek Hansen. It is 13-7 Essex. 80-yard touchdown run for Derek Hansen. Just like that, the Hornets come right back and lead it 13-7.
Well, Essex Junction is averaging 85 yards per touchdown run here tonight. Bishop on the kickoff, 90 yards. That run right there by Derek Hansen, 80 yards. And really credit the wishbone attack with that right there. They fooled him. They gave it to, I believe, the second man through, and that was Hansen. The first man went off right tackle. Hansen came off left tackle, and there was a huge hole along the left side of the line of scrimmage, and Hansen just kicked it into overdrive. Once he got into secondary, he was gone.
Derek Hansen, 80 yards for the touchdown. On the second play from scrimmage for Essex, of course, they return to kickoff, 90 yards per touchdown for Bishop. A home run ball for the Hornets tonight. Canillo in to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. It's 14-7 Essex, 4:16 remaining first quarter. We'll be back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. We have 4:16 remaining first quarter, and it's already Essex 14, Rutland 7.
And John Madden and Pat Summerall always referring to the importance of time of possession in football. This gives you an indication. Essex Junction, call it what you will if you want to call it time of possession. They scored off a kickoff return, has had the football in their possession for 1 minute and 9 seconds, and they've scored 2 touchdowns.
Does that sound like a wishbone team to you?
Not exactly.
McFerrin put the Raiders on top with a 24-yard touchdown run, but the ensuing kickoff, Steve Bishop, 90-yard kickoff return. Then Derek Hansen, an 80-yard touchdown run on the second play from scrimmage. The next time Essex got the football. Here's the line drive boot to Conway at the 30, 35, 40, and he gets it to about the 42, and then gets driven back. So the Raiders, relatively good field position. They have to put together another nice drive like they had in their first series before scoring. Eric Tremble on the tackle. The booter that time for Essex was Jeff Snyder. Hansen was getting a breather. He's been the kickoff guy for the Essex Hornets. So the Raiders have it at the left side hash mark, 1st and 10, their own 43-yard line. Couple of setbacks and a man wide left as Penny barks him out. Got a wing right, and it's Conway in motion now left to right. Penny on the handoff to Vaccaro. Vaccaro tries to string it out wide. He's going to be dropped for a loss back to the 40-yard line. He lost 3. Jason Lefebvre on the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 13 for the Raiders. Their own 40. Clock running, 3:30 remaining first quarter. Essex 14, Rutland High 7.
Well, Vaccaro started initially on that run to get to the outside, cut it back in for a minute, and then as he tried to get it around the far side of the line of scrimmage, Lefebvre was waiting right there for him, and Vaccaro had 2 choices, either cut to the middle or go to the outside. He chose the latter, and Lefebvre was there waiting for him.
McIntyre in wide left. Wing left is Conway. 2nd and 13 for the Raiders. Handoff now. It goes to Stempak. Sweeps left and turns the corner for a couple out to about the 43. Maybe just about the yardage that was lost on the previous play by Vaccaro. Raiders will have a 3rd and 10, their own 43-yard line. Snyder on the tackle. An electrifying first quarter here, and the Raiders with a very impressive opening drive. There's Conway and McIntyre. Now McIntyre's wide right, and Conway will line up wide left now. Bliss is tight left. Vaccaro and McFerrin of the setbacks. Conway in motion left to right. Back to throw on 3rd down. Penny being pressured, steps up, and they are going to sack him. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. He might have lost a yard. Casey Long there on the tackle for the Hornets, and the Raiders will have to boot the football away. So they were impressive on their first drive. The last 2 series, however, the Raiders have had to boot the football away. They will here. 4th and 10, their own 43-yard line. McFerrin back to the 30 to kick it away. McWilliam and Hansen back deep for the Hornets. Back around the Hornet 30-yard line. Snap to McFerrin a little low. He digs it out. Gets the kick away. And this will go to Hansen. Fumbles the football at the 34 and then pounces on his own fumble. He fumbled the football trying to grab it on the run and then pounced on the football. The Hornets will go on the offense 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Well, Essex Junction has run a total of 2 plays from the line of scrimmage. They've had the football 3 plays, and they've scored on 2 of those. So right here, the burden of stopping this explosive, call it what you will, but I'll call it explosive, Essex Junction offensive unit here falls on the shoulders of the Rutland defense on this drive.
Jamie McWilliam is in now. He's the quarterback. Pouliot is the center over the football, and Rayum gets the call. The fullback straight ahead. Nothing there. Gets about a yard to the 35. Gets driven back. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Hornets. They do alternate quarterbacks, but on different series. Nelson was the quarterback in the first series. Now Jamie McWilliam, a junior, 5'8", 158-pounder, is the quarterback now. 2nd and 9 for the Hornets, their own 35-yard line. As into the ball game at a halfback spot is Stephen Fry. He and Bishop and Hansen will see a lot of action. Of course, Hansen's the one that took it all the way for the touchdown, an 80-yard touchdown run. Snyder is a tight right. As the quarterback McWilliam goes to Hansen off left tackle again after faking to the fullback, scoots out across the 40-yard line to about the 43. A pickup of 8. Pat Dwyer there on the tackle for Rutland High. 3rd down and about 2 for the Hornets. The ball marked at the Hornet 43-yard line. That time they stopped Hansen after a pickup of 8. Last time he picked up 80. 20 seconds left first quarter. Essex with a 14-7 lead.
Oh, I could live with averaging 44 yards a carry, which he's doing so far tonight.
Boy, what that did to his average, though, huh? McWilliam on the handoff again to the second man. Hansen off left tackle across the 45 to the 46. Picks up 3, and it is a first down for Essex. On the tackle, Leonard Downey for Rutland High. So the Hornets have it 1st and 10. They have it at their own 46-yard line. That should be the final play of the first quarter as they run it down here. And that is the end of the first quarter. And it's been a while, first quarter here at Essex. After 1 our score, the Essex Hornets 14, Rutland High 7. Back with a second quarter after this 30-second timeout. Back we are at Essex as we get set for the second quarter. The Hornets lead at 14-7. The Hornets 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. At the end of the game, we'll have a J.P. Carrera & Sons Most Valuable Player and also a Pasquale's 12th Player Award winner. A Pasquale's 12th Player Award winner, the unsung Raider hero. That'll be at the end of the game tonight.
And one of the things you miss when you do a road game, first of all, is you're out of your comfort zone, so to speak. But from our standpoint, Jack, Pasquale's does not deliver to the Essex Junction area. I wish they did.
It's not halftime yet.
No, this is true. He could be on his way. John could be on his way.
I'll be looking.
I could inhale a Philly cheesesteak, and if you're going to get one, that's the place to get one.
Hornets 1st and 10, their own 46. Hornets going right to left here in the second quarter. Raiders left to right, and the second man nothing doing this time. Has stopped for a loss of about 3 in the backfield was Hansen, and in there to stop him was Dana Atwood. That lost 2 back to the 44. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Hornets.
Atwood came on a blitz from the cornerback position, got in the backfield and just wrapped him up for the solo tackle. And that may be something to try to offset this wishbone attack, is to try to blitz the corners periodically to put more men on the line of scrimmage.
Jeremy Cam is in wide right. He's in for Jason Lefebvre, who's getting a breather. As the Hornets break the bone, they got trips right. Pitch to Hansen, but we got penalty markers down. Too much time. Delay of game against the Hornets. The Hornets do break the bone, meaning they don't go to the wishbone all the time. They had trips right, which means 3 wide receivers right and a lone setback. But delay of game against the Hornets. They mark it back to the Hornet 39-yard line. And Essex will have it 2nd down now.
And a whole bunch, about 19.
And about 17. 2nd and 17 for the Hornets. Again, they break the bone. Trips right. Jamie McWilliam, the quarterback. Pitch to Hansen on the option. Hansen looking to throw. Throws downfield, and it is intercepted at the 40. To the 45, to the 50. Pat Dwyer to the Essex 45-yard line. Pat Dwyer on the interception, and the Raiders have it 1st and 10 at the Hornet 45. Pouliot on the tackle for Essex. Hansen tried to throw. He was pressured. Hansen took it right on the halfback option, tried to throw down the middle, and Pat Dwyer was there for the interception.
I believe it was intended for Stephen Fry, and Dwyer, playing the center field position, pardon my reference to baseball, stepped right in there, made the interception, and a great run. after the interception gives Rutland excellent field position to start this drive.
So the Raiders have it 1st and 10. The Hornet 45-yard line. Brian Pinney's got a man wide right. McIntyre man wide left. Handoff to Vaccaro off left tackle. Gets it to about the 42. A pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Raiders at that point. Stephen Fry on the tackle. Early going second quarter here at Essex. The Essex Hornets 14, Rutland 7. But the Raiders have it 2nd and 7 at the Hornet 43-yard line.
And Essex was just starting to move the ball. That was the 5th play of their drive before the Dwyer interception. And again, Rutland takes over deep, or actually in great field position here, and that's the drive they were looking for to stop. They need to get 7 here as a result.
Anderson tied right, wide left, McIntyre. Hand off to McFerrin. Takes it left and against the grain. Dives his way inside the 40 to inside the 35, and then fumbled the football, but I believe he was down. He got it down to about the 30-yard line. A pickup of 13. John Nelson on the tackle. McFerrin took it left and against the grain, and he dove his way inside the 35 to about the 30. Fumble, but he had already hit the ground. The ground cannot cause a fumble, of course, and it is a 1st down for the Raiders. 1st and 10 at the Hornet 30 after that 13-yard pickup by Jeff McFerrin. Stempek in the backfield now along with McFerrin. They got a wing left. Stempek is in motion now, right to left and wide left. Hand off to McFerrin off left tackle. McFerrin inside the 25, inside the 20, inside the 15, and down at about the 12-yard line. Musha on the tackle. Great run by Jeff McFerrin. Got it down to about the 16. Let's see. So we got so many soccer soccer lines out there.
It's the 11-yard line.
Yeah, got it to about the 11-yard line. Check it. A 29-yard pickup for McFerrin. It's 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Essex 11-yard line. And there's about 3 yard lines right there with the soccer. We got a timeout on the field. Timeout Essex. 14-7 Hornets. The Raiders have it 1st and 10 at the Hornet 11. We'll be back after this 30-second break. 1st and 10 Raiders. McFerrin doing the bulk of the ball carrying on this drive. He's got 9 carries, 113 yards already. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. The Hornet 11-yard line. Both teams have taken a timeout. They both have 2 left. Brian Finney's got a man in motion. Stempek right to left. Pitch to Vaccaro. Sweeps right. He's got an opening to the 5. Vaccaro, touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown run for Frankie Vaccaro. Essex now leads it 14-13 with 9:11 remaining in the first half. Frankie Vaccaro with an 11-yard touchdown run.
Well, the interception was the play that set that up. Pat Dwyer, the interception and return across the Essex Junction 50-yard line. That's across their side of the 50-yard line, and 5 plays later, Frankie Vaccaro takes it in from 11 yards out, and I really got to credit the Rutland offensive line of scrimmage is doing a fantastic job of downfield blocking.
McFerrin in to attempt the extra point. Ben Anderson the holder. McFerrin looking to tie here in the second quarter, and Essex, I believe, offside. We'll wait and see.
To give you an idea of the domination by the Rutland offensive line of scrimmage, their offensive linemen, they've already rushed for 160 yards.
Apparently they were drawn offside. The Raiders' illegal procedure, so they mark it back to the 8-yard line, and McFerrin will have to boot this one a little bit further to try to tie it. 9:11 remaining first half. He's going to boot this one. I'll tell you, on the right side of the field, there are soccer lines and circles and everything else all over the place. This would be a 25-yard attempt for the extra point for McFerrin. Anderson puts the ball down. The kick by McFerrin is up. No good. It's wide off to the left. So the penalty meant something there as McFerrin had to kick from further back. So the kick was wide left. No good. The score remains Essex 14, Rutland 13. We'll be back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. One correction. Again, Frankie Vaccaro, the 11-yard touchdown run. Did I say a 29-yard pickup by McFerrin to get to the first down? Yeah, that was from the 30 to the, it was a 19-yard pickup by McFerrin. Pardon me, but at any rate, McFerrin, so I guess we can knock 10 yards
So they have 150 yards rushing here in the first half.
But he set it up, and of course, Jeff McFerrin, the bulk of the carrying on that drive, set up by the Pat Dwyer interception. And Frankie Vaccaro, the 11-yard touchdown run. But the kick was no good, the extra point after the penalty. And it's 14-13 Essex with 9:11 remaining first half. Here's Conway's kick, a ground ball. Hits an up man, and he will recover at the 25-yard line. One of the up men there was Dan Rexford, and it hit him on the knee, and he went back. He wanted to avoid it, apparently, to let it go back to the deeper men. It hit him, and he had to go back and recover at the Essex 25-yard line.
Well, that certainly makes things interesting, that Dwyer interception. And more importantly than that is the fact that Rutland was able to capitalize off of that interception. So many times we've seen this year, they'll recover a fumble or get an interception, 3 plays and out on the next drive. But this time they were very poised drive, and they punched it in to pull within 1.
John Nelson back in at quarterback. The Hornets operate out of the wishbone, as they usually do. Hand off to Hansen off left tackle. Pretty good yardage out across the 30 to about the 31. He picks up 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Dana Atwood on the tackle for Rutland High. So the Hornets have it 2nd and 4. The Hornets holding on to the 1-point lead. They lead at 14-13 with 8:30 left here in the first half. As into the ball game is Steve Bishop, and Stephen Fry gets a breather. Bishop and Fry alternate along with Hansen. Rayum is the fullback out of the bone. Rayum is the fullback now. Bishop and Hansen are the deep backs out of the wishbone. And a play action. It is Nelson. Throws. It is complete at the 50-yard line to Jeff Snyder. And he's on a chase. He's inside the 10, and he's dropped from behind by Stempeck at about the 2-yard line. Jeff Snyder was wide open. John Nelson went back to pass. They operated out of the wishbone. The ends were tight. And once the receiver grabbed it, he just kept on going, Jeff Snyder. And it will be 1st and goal for the Hornets at the Raider 3-yard line.
Stempeck, with the never-say-die attitude, was pursuing from about the 40-yard line on. Made the shoestring tackle to save the touchdown.
But a 66-yard pass play from Nelson to Snyder. 1st and goal for the Hornets at the Raider 3. And the handoff to the second man off left tackle, a fumble, and it went to Stephen Fry. Essex has recovered the fumble. Fry was the second man. He took it left, and it was either Nelson or Fry who came over to recover. It'll be 2nd down and goal for the Hornets. So the Hornets fumbled at virtually the goal line, but they are going to have it at about the 2. Matter of fact, at about the 1-yard line. They actually picked up a couple of yards on that despite the fumble.
Lucky break for Essex that time. The ball was popped loose, and Vaccaro was over there, nearly had a chance to grab it.
2nd and goal for the Hornets at the Raider 1-yard line. Handoff to the second man. Huge hole. Steve Bishop off right tackle. Touchdown. 1-yard plunge for Bishop, and Bishop with his 2nd touchdown of the football game. It was Bishop who returned that kickoff earlier. 90 yards for the touchdown, and Essex now leads at 20-13 with 6:59 remaining in the first half.
And the Notre Dame fight song being played by the Essex Junction Band. As a result of that touchdown, the big play was the 66-yard pass completion to Snyder. And Stempeck took him out of bounds right around the 3 or 4 yard line. And 2 plays after that, after the fumble, Essex Junction punches it in and is on top 20-13.
Godillo in to attempt the extra point. And the snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. It's 21-13 Essex. So the 1-yard touchdown run by Bishop, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. Godillo with the extra point. The Hornets lead at 21-13 with 6:59 remaining first half. Back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Well, John Nelson hooked up to Jeff Snyder on a 66-yard pass that gave the Hornets a 1st and goal at the Raider 3. After a fumble by the Hornets that they recovered themselves, they picked up 2, and a 1-yard touchdown plunge by Steve Bishop, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. The extra point by Josh Godillo, and Essex has an 8-point lead, 21-13 over the Raiders. On that pass, Snyder grabbed it at the 50-yard line, and it was nothing but green grass. The question was he going to be caught from behind, and Stempeck did, but the Hornets cashing in. Here's the kickoff across the 25, 30, 35, and out across the 40 to about the 41-yard line on the return is Mike Stempeck. And the tackle made by Troy Campbell. Raiders go on the offense, and they came up the field the last time. McFerrin with the bulk of the ball carrying, capped off on the 11-yard touchdown run by Frankie Vaccaro. So the Raiders now have it 1st and 10. They're going to mark it at the Raider 41-yard line. Wide right. Well, actually, a wing on the right is Vaccaro. Wide left is McIntyre, also a slot left. And the lone setback is McFerrin behind it, Brian Pinney. In motion right to left is Vaccaro. And the short little pass complete to Brent Bliss out across the 45, down at the Raider 47-yard line. Picked up about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Pinney faked the pitch to Vaccaro and then just tossed a little pass to Bliss. And Josh Jerome on the tackle. Picked up 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Raiders at their own 47-yard line. We have 6 minutes remaining first half. As Ferrati is in, wide left. Slot left will be Stempeck. Tight right is Bliss. Couple of setbacks behind Brian Pinney, Vaccaro, and McFerrin. Right side hash mark. McFerrin gets the call, but they're going to trip him up in the backfield. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. Stephen Fry there on the stop for the Essex Hornets. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be, I'll give him about a half yard, actually. 3rd and a long 3 for the Raiders. Their own 48. Actually, after it was all said and done, he ended up turning a gain out of no gain. Picked up maybe a half yard.
Gives you an idea of the strength of Mr. McFerrin and the job he's done all evening long. Well over 100 yards here in the first half alone. In the second effort, managed him to get 1 yard on the play.
Ferrati is in wide left, couple of setbacks and a wing right. It's Conway, and Conway's in motion right to left. Pinney on 3rd down. Pinney play action, looking to throw, throws left. It is complete to Conway, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, and finally knocked out of bounds right around the Essex 20-yard line. Little pass play from Pinney to Jake Conway. Rexford finally made the tackle, so the Raiders in business again. They have it 1st and 10. They're going to mark it at the Hornet 21-yard line.
Couldn't quite see who threw that downfield block for the Raiders on the far sideline. It appeared as though it was number 17, Dwyer.
31-yard pickup on that pass play from Pinney to Conway.
I don't know if it was Dwyer or not, but someone threw a great block downfield.
Well, the Raiders have it 1st and 10 at the Hornet 21-yard line. And the inside handoff to McFerrin gets it inside the 20 to about the 18. A pickup of 3. Steve Bishop on the tackle. Give them 2. We'll call it 2nd and 8 for the Raiders at the Hornet 19-yard line.
So Rutland
big pass play,
again.
A couple of pass plays. Pinney to Bliss and also Pinney to Conway. 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders, the Hornet 19-yard line. Couple of wideouts right for the Raiders, couple of setbacks. Back to throw Pinney. Pinney throws right, complete to Conway inside the 10, the 5, down at the 1-yard line. Pinney just led Conway beautifully. McWilliam on the tackle. It picked up 18 yards. Pinney to Conway, 1st and goal. Raiders at the Hornet 1-yard line.
And we are seeing a passing exhibition tonight by Brian Pinney. What a soft touch along the near sideline. Threw a pump fake. That froze the Essex Junction secondary. Conway just slipped in behind coverage. Took it down to about the 1-yard line. Great play by Pinney.
And the Raiders set up in the wishbone look with McFerrin, Stempeck, and Conway. 1st and goal, the Hornet 1-yard line. Pinney on the handoff to Stempeck. He's in. Touchdown. And it's now Essex 21, Rutland 19. 3:39 remaining first half, and a couple of big pass plays. Pinney to Bliss, Pinney to Conway twice. Stempeck with a 1-yard plunge, and the Raiders came right back, and they're right back in this ball game.
Pinney on that drive alone, 3 for 3 on that touchdown drive, approximately 54 yards, according to statistician Nico Miles, and he's really found his touch here tonight. And Stempeck punches it in, and Rutland has really answered every call here tonight. And
the Raiders looking to tie right here as they go for 2, and they're going to call for a timeout. They are going to call for a timeout. We'll keep it right here with 3:39 remaining in the first half. That's the 2nd Raider timeout in the half. A couple of big pass plays, and Vince is going to recap them here.
Well, I didn't quite get the yardage on the pass play to Conway down the far sideline. Approximately 31 yards, I would guesstimate. There's a lot of action has happened surrounding that play, but
32, 31 yards. Yeah, it went from the Raider 48 to the Hornet 21.
It was a six-play drive, that touchdown drive, which ended with Stempek's 2-yard touchdown run at the 329 mark, or 339 mark, excuse me. And Penny, 3 for 3 on that drive, really starting to find his touch and get things going offensively here. And that's something that we have yet to see from him this season. And credit, I believe, 2 things. First of all, the offensive lineman and the blocking by the Rutland offensive lineman, and the ability to run the football by Vaccaro and McFerrin.
And the Raiders took the timeout before going for 2 here. They break the huddle, 21-19 Essex. The Raiders again have that wishbone look as they did on that 1-yard plunge, and now they shift out of the wishbone look and have trips right. As Penny barks him out, he's got 1 setback. It is McFerrin. Penny looking to throw, rolls right, penalty markers down. They're going to whistle this play dead as he threw it incomplete, but they whistle the play dead anyway. And we'll see here what the penalty is all about. Apparently, it's a legal procedure against the Raiders, so instead of having it at the 3, they have it at the 8, so they'll have to try the 2 points from the 8-yard line.
Something really interesting happened to the Essex defense when Rutland shifted out of the wishbone look to trips right. Their whole line of scrimmage just evaporated. There was nobody defensive line of scrimmage for Essex Junction. The quarterback sneak was wide open, and they opted to roll it to the right before the penalty.
Anderson wide left. The Raiders going for 2 from the 8-yard line. Conway in motion left to right. Here's the pitch to Stempek. Sweeps left and against the grain. He dives. No, he doesn't get in. Dropped at the goal line. He almost got in. They pitched it to Stempek, turned the corner, dove, and was dropped virtually at the goal line. Try for the 2, no good, and Essex holds on to the lead. 3:39 left first half. Our score, Essex 21, Rutland 19. Back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Mike Stempek, a 1-yard touchdown run. Penny with a couple of big pass plays in the drive. 1 to Bliss and a couple to Conway, one of which covered 31 yards. Gave the Raiders a first down at the 21. The Raiders get a 1st and goal later at the 1-yard line to cut the Essex lead at 21-19. The Raiders went for 2 after a penalty, had to do it from the 8-yard line. Stempek cut down shy of the goal line, so it's 21-19. The Essex Hornets with that 2-point lead. Conway on the boot here, and this will go to Bishop at the 11-yard line. To the 15 as he takes it left. 20, 25, and gets it to about the 26-yard line. He's dropped there by Barrett Vargas. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets. That was Bishop on the return. He returned to the kickoff after the Raiders had taken a 7-0 lead. 90 yards for a touchdown. This time he gets it out to the 26. 1st and 10 for the Hornets at that point.
Rutland sticking around, hanging around in this ball game. You'd think coming in that Essex Junction would enjoy a huge advantage, but every time Essex Junction puts something on the board, the Rutland offensive unit responds and answers right back like 2 heavyweights slugging it out.
Jamie McWilliam is the quarterback. Back in at quarterback. Handoff goes to Rayum, the big fullback straight ahead. Out across the 30 to about the 32. Picks up 6. McFerrin on the tackle along with Dwyer. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Essex Hornets. Hornets have it at their own 32-yard line. 2:47 remaining first half. The Hornets have a 21-19 lead over Rutland High. Dan Rexford is in for the Hornets. They line up out of the wishbone, and the snap is fumbled, and I believe the Raiders have recovered. Yes, they have. 1st and 10 Raiders. They will have it at the 33-yard line, and Parisi, I believe, recovered the fumble. Frank Parisi on the fumble recovery, and the Raiders are in business. They have it 1st and 10 at the Essex 33-yard line. Parisi on the fumble recovery. McWilliam fumbled the snap, couldn't find the handle, and Parisi was there to recover.
And for the 2nd time tonight, a turnover gives Rutland great field position. Dwyer's interception got it on the Essex side of the 50. This time they'll take over at the Essex 33.
So 1st and 10 in motion, Stempeck. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Essex in front, 21-19. Pitch to McFerrin. Down the sideline, 30, and knocked out of bounds at about the 26-yard line of Essex by Derek Hansen. It picked up 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 for the Raiders. The Hornet 26-yard line.
Well, Parisi recovered the fumble, and that time he took out 2 Essex defenders with 1 block. And that enabled Vaccaro to spring to the outside and pick up 7 on the first down.
Remember, the Raiders have 1 more timeout. 1:55 left. Clock stopped when the play went out of bounds. Vaccaro's run. 1:55 left in the first half. Ferrati is in wide left. Also wide left is Stempeck. Vaccaro and McFerrin in the setback. Stempeck in motion left to right. 2nd down play for Penny. Inside handoff to McFerrin. Breaks a tackle and then picks up maybe a yard to the 25, maybe the 24. Stephen Fry and Campbell on the tackle for Essex. They're going to mark it at the 25. Picked up a yard. 3rd down and close to 2 for the Raiders.
Big 3rd down play here for the Raiders here. They have to convert, keeping in mind that Essex Junction will get the football back when this second half starts as we near the completion of the first half, just under 1.5 minutes remaining. So a big 3rd down play.
Anderson in tight left, tight right Bliss. The Raiders have that wishbone look. 3rd and close to 2, and inside the 30 to about the 20. Or inside, let's see, down to about the 22-yard line on the keeper is Penny. And Penny picking up the first down. Ralph Perkins on the tackle. He picked up the first down, just taking it straight ahead.
Perkins actually threw him for the yard.
I was trying to look for Penny on the keeper. I was just trying to look for the yard marker there. 1st and 10 Raiders at the Essex 23. Handoff to Stempeck, and he's dropped after a pickup of maybe a yard. Stephen Fry there on the stop for the Essex Hornets. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Raiders. They're going to mark it at the Essex 22-yard line. 42 seconds remaining in the first half, and Penny throws the ball out of bounds. He threw it backwards, I think. And there's a penalty marker, and are they going to call it intentional grounding? And did it go out of bounds? Penny threw the ball to stop the clock. And trying to run over there was Jeff Snyder to recover because the ball may or may not have gone out of bounds. He threw it backwards, and then a penalty marker came down. It looked like a backward pass.
My question is, why didn't he just throw it into the ground? If his intention was to stop the clock, he lost another 2 or 3 seconds with the length of time that the ball was in the air heading for the sideline and possibly losing yardage here if there's a penalty.
We'll see what the penalty marker is about, if they are going to call that intentional grounding. He threw it toward the sideline. He threw it left, and it looked like it was thrown backwards. Did they wave off the penalty or not? I don't know. They are going to mark it back. Is there a penalty, or are they just going to call it a backward?
They declined the penalty because the yardage that was lost on the pass is more than the penalty would have been.
And it went back to the 32-yard line. That's where the ball went out of bounds. The clock stopped with 36 seconds remaining here in the half. So the Raiders have it 3rd and 19. That's what they did. It was a backward lateral, went out of bounds. It was a backward pass. They declined the penalty. 3rd and 19 for the Raiders, the Essex 32-yard line. 36 seconds left in the half. Back to throw Penny. Rolls left, looking, being chased. Avoids one man. Finally, he is dropped across the way. After picking up a couple to about the 30-yard line. 25 seconds remaining here in the half. 21-19 Essex. They're going to mark it at the 31. He picked up about a yard. It'll be 4th and 18. The Raiders take their final timeout. So we got a timeout on the field. We'll be back after this 30-second break. A couple of plays when Penny threw the ball out of bounds and it went backward. It was declined by Essex, so they took the loss of the on the play, and we're trying to figure out if in the high school you can just throw the ball straight to the ground. Apparently you got to throw it to somebody. At any rate, 4th and about 18 for the Raiders at the Hornet 31. Raiders in 4-down territory. Penny looking to throw. Steps up, being chased. They're going to sack him at the 32 and ended up losing about a yard. And Essex will take over on downs as Jeff Snyder got in there to make the stop. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets at their own at 31. That's where they mark it. with 18 seconds remaining in the half, and Essex now calls for a timeout. So it's 21-19 Hornets with 18 seconds remaining in the half. Timeout on the field. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Jack Healey back with Vince Allo and Nico Miles. Essex actually have it first and 10, its own 30. Essex with a 21-19 lead. 18 seconds remaining in the first half. It's a little bit more difficult here to see the yard markers than it used to be because they got the soccer lines, and they used to have the numbers on the field. Instead, they have the markers on the sideline, and they're not very well marked, so it's very tough to zero in on them. John Nelson back in at quarterback. They break the bone, trips right, hand off to the lone setback. It is Bishop straight ahead to about the 32, maybe the 33. Pickup of 2. It'll be second and 8. On the tackle, Frank Parisi. That should be the final play of the half, and that is the end of the first half. So a wild first half here at Essex. A beautiful night for football. Essex will get the second half kickoff. At halftime, our score, the Essex Hornets 21, Rutland High 19. We'll be back with our halftime show. This will be meeting again at midfield here. The Hornets, however, will be getting the second half kickoff. The Essex Hornets leading the Rutland High Red Raiders by a score of 21-19. We mentioned our Pasquale's 12th Player Award winner at the end of the game, our J.P. Carrera and Sons Most Valuable Player at the end of the game. Coming up tomorrow, we have more high school football action for you on WSYB. MSJ hosting Fairhaven. We'll be on the air at 1:05 with a pregame show and kickoff time at 1:30. That coming up tomorrow. Just to recap, again, the Raiders scoring a 24-yard touchdown run by Jeff McFerrin, an 11-yard touchdown run by Frankie Vaccaro, and a 1-yard touchdown run by Mike Stempek. And the Hornets have hit the home run ball tonight, a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Steve Bishop, an 80-yard touchdown run by Derek Hansen, and their other touchdown came on a 1-yard touchdown run by Bishop. Bishop with a couple of touchdowns, but Nelson to Snyder, a 66-yard pass that gave Essex a first and goal at the Raider 3-yard line. A lot of people listening into the opening game of the University of Vermont hockey season on the radio up here. UVM 2, New Hampshire 1, halfway through the second period. Essex will be going right to left in the third quarter. The Raiders will be going left to right. The Hornets with that 21-19 lead. The only difference after the Raiders' second touchdown, they were penalized 5 yards. The extra point kick went wide left, and then they tried to tie it with the 2 points, and they were penalized 5 yards back to the 8, even though Stempek almost got in. As a matter of fact, it looked to us that he did get in, but can't second guess from here. It's funny here at Essex, they have rebuilt the press box, so in that sense it's a better place, but yet they don't work on the field as well as they used to, because there's a lot of soccer lines around and they don't put the numbers on the field itself. Not that we haven't done games the other way, but yet the soccer lines off to our right are a little bit confusing.
And Channel 15 is on hand this evening, so this game will be shown tomorrow night on Channel 15 down in the Rutland area at either 8 or 8:30, according to Brian Mayhew. And special thanks to Brian Mayhew for delivering the halftime hot dogs up here to the booth.
Yeah, and you asked me, well, you're not going to eat one, as we came back here to get ready in the second half. The kick by Conway will bounce at the 15, then off the hands of Bishop at the 10 and out of bounds. Steve Bishop, who had that 90-yard kickoff return earlier for Essex, fumbles the ball out of bounds, and the Hornets will have it first and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
Well, as it usually happens in the fall in Vermont, the temperature gets a little bit lower as the evening wears on. And
well, what are we down to, 65 now?
At least 65, and you know, that's just horrible compared to some of the games we've had to do at night here on SYB. And I tell you, it's starting to get a little bit chillier out there and on the field. That may have had something to do with Bishop, who's been normally very short-handed this evening for the Essex Junction Hornets. Bobbled that ball out of bounds at their own 10.
First and 10 for the Hornets, their own 10-yard line. John Nelson, 5'9", 140-pound junior, is back in a quarterback. Handoff to Hansen off left tackle. It gets a big hold out across the 15 to about the 20-yard line before he's dropped. There is a penalty marker down, and I believe it's going to go against Essex. That picked up close to 10 yards on the carry. Dana Atwood on the stop, and we'll see what the penalty marker is all about. They would mark it just shy of the 20. It would be a little bit shy of first down yardage.
They're talking to Frankie Vaccaro.
It would be a hold, I believe. Again, Essex alternates quarterbacks, Jamie McWilliam and also John Nelson. It's a clip against the Hornets from the point of infraction.
It would have been better off to have a hold. That would have backed it up 10 yards. With the clip, it's a 15-yard penalty, so they'll go half the distance to the goal line. So that play, being a clip penalty, actually benefits Essex.
And they actually get it back at the 8, half the distance from the point of infraction. It'll be 1st and 12 for the Hornets at their own 8-yard line. You tell me which one of those 5 lines is the 10.
That one right there.
Again, the Hornets operate out of the wishbone, and the handoff goes to the second man off right tackle, and nothing much there for Steve Bishop. Maybe back for about a yard, maybe a half-yard pickup. Barassa and Downey on the tackle. Give them a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Hornets at their own 9-yard line. Going right to left here in the third quarter. Bishop is out. Big tight end, Jason Lefebvre. He's tight left. Again, they operate out of the wishbone. Nelson on 2nd down. Nelson goes to the second man, and off left tackle is Hansen, out across the 15 to about the 16-yard line. Picked up 7. Tackle Frankie Vaccaro. He wrapped him up. It'll be 3rd down, about 4 for the Hornets at their own 17-yard line as Bishop comes back in to the ball game. He comes in for Hansen. They mark it at the right side hash mark. Now they break the bone, and they have a couple of setbacks behind Nelson. Early going third quarter. Nelson takes it left on the option. Out across the 20, 25, spins, and he is driven back as he got it close to the 30 before being dropped. Picked up 12, close to 13 yards. That was a big play there. Jeff McFerrin finally there to drive him back, but never could bring him to the turf here at Essex. Big play in the sense it was 3rd down, and Raiders stop the Hornets right there. They get excellent field position. Instead, it's a 1st down pickup by the quarterback, John Nelson, on the option. 1st and 10 for the Hornets at their own 30-yard line. They're back into the wishbone now as they mark it at the left side hash mark. The ends are tight. Hand off to Hansen. Second man straight ahead. Out across the 35 to about the 37. Picked up 7. Dana Atwood on the tackle. This is, even though this has not been a typical Essex ball game tonight, scoring on the 90-yard kickoff return and the 80-yard touchdown run, when they eat up the clock and pick up 1st downs out of the wishbone, that is typical, and they've picked up a couple of 1st downs here in the first series of the second half. And they are shy, they're 2nd and 2 yards shy of their 2nd 1st down at their own 37-yard line. Fake to Rayum, and the handoff to Bishop, out across the 45 to about the 47. What a collision there. Dwyer and Vaccaro over there on the stop.
And Atwood got driven back off the tackle about 3 yards, and you could hear the reaction in the stands as we're just a few short feet away from the Essex Junction fan support system here, and what a collision. You're right.
Pickup of 10, the 2nd 1st down for Essex here in the second half on this opening drive. 1st and 10 Essex, their own 47. Hand off to Bishop, spins at the 50, and he's down at the Raider 49, maybe the 48-yard line. Picked up 3, close to 4. 2nd and 6 for the Hornets. Greg Barajiklian on the stop for Rutland High. 8:35 remaining third quarter. Essex has a 21-19 lead. The Hornets have picked up a couple of 1st downs here on the opening drive of the second half. They have it as 2nd down and 7 at the Raider 48-yard line. Rayum is the fullback. Out of the wishbone. And the handoff goes to Stephen Fry, the second man, and he is dropped after picking up a yard down at the Raider 47 by Jeff McFerrin. McFerrin's played a nice game tonight for the Raiders, both offensively and defensively.
Well, he's been the workhorse offensively, well over 100 yards, a touchdown there in the first half alone, and involved on a lot of big tackles here in the second half. That was the 7th play of this opening drive of the third quarter, and already we're under 8 minutes showing in this third quarter, so a vintage Essex Junction drive. They've now got it on the Rutland side of the 50 at about the 48. And they're moving the football.
Hanson and Fry are the halfbacks. Rayum is the fullback. Third down, about 6 for the Hornets. The Raider 47-yard line. Nelson, the quarterback. We got penalty markers down. This might be illegal procedure against the Hornets.
A lot of movement on that offensive line.
It is illegal procedure against Essex, so they'll mark it back to the Hornet side of the 50-yard line, back to the Hornet 47.
So this will be the second big third down play here for the Rutland defense. The first one was Nelson on the 13-yard keeper off the option play on third down earlier on in this third quarter. So this will be a big defensive play here if Rutland's able to stop this Essex drive here.
Third down, a little over 10 for the Hornets, their own 47-yard line. They break the bone, trips left. One setback, pitch to Hanson, sweeps left, has some room to the 50, cuts it inside at the 45 to the Raider 44-yard line, but it will be shy of first down yardage. It picked up 9. Barajiklian and Atwood there on the tackle. It will be fourth down and a long yard, close to 2 for the Hornets at the Raider 44. And this, for the Hornets, is 4-down territory. This is a big fourth down play here as the Hornets have eaten up the clock here on the opening drive of the second half. The Hornets lead at 21-19. We're almost halfway through the third quarter. 6:40 left in the quarter. Fourth down for the Hornets, close to 2 at the Raider 44-yard line. Movement for the Hornets. I believe the tight end on the right side, Snyder, moved. It will be a 5-yard penalty for illegal procedure against the Hornets. They'll mark it back to the Raider 49.
That certainly does change things now. The play calling will be a little bit different according to Coach Bruce Wheeler, and you can see the reaction on the near sideline from the Essex Junction players. Number 65, who's not dressed tonight, is Kurt Holmes, and he just reacted like he couldn't believe that they had gotten another penalty again, and now they're going to boot the football away, and Rutland's going to get the football back.
Fourth down. And about 7 for the Hornets at the Raider 49. Fry back to boot inside his own 40. And the kick will go to Stempeck, calling for the fair catch, and he fumbles. And Essex, I believe, is recovered at the Raider 29-yard line. On the recovery, Jeremy Camp. And wait a minute, nope, the Raiders going to have the football.
I heard a whistle.
There might have been a whistle, hold on. The Raiders are going to have the football. First and 10. Where are they going to mark it here?
You can hear a whistle. Stempeck had the fair catch signal up. As soon as he got hold of the ball, the whistle sounded, and then he dropped it.
Yeah, and Essex pounced on the football. It's going to be at the 24. That's where they're going to mark it. So the Raiders do have the football. First and 10. No. Now they're going to mark it ahead now. What are they going to do now?
Bruce Wheeler's beside himself on the Essex Junction sideline.
Are they going to?
They're going to re-kick it, I believe.
They're going to re-kick it. It was a booth that Stempeck called for the fair catch, and he dropped it. Essex apparently recovered. Then they might have said it might have been an inadvertent whistle. Now they're going to kick it again. Fourth down, about 7 at the Raider 49. Can you believe that one?
What a big break for Rutland. It was recovered by Cam of Essex Junction on the fumble deep in Rutland territory, and I heard a whistle, so that's probably what the call was. You're right, Jack, an inadvertent whistle from the officiating staff, and that's a big break for Rutland.
Now Dwyer and McIntyre are back deep inside the Raider 20. Fry back around the Hornet 37 to boot it away, so they're doing this again. And at this time, the punt will sail to McIntyre, back inside the 10, gets it out across the 10, the 15, and he's dropped at about the 15-yard line. He had to catch that back inside the 10-yard line, returned it back to the 15. So the Raiders will go on the offense for the first time in the second half. Roland Tremble on the stop. And the Raiders will have it first and 10 at their own 15-yard line. First time they've got their hands on the football. And we have 5:50 remaining in the third quarter. First time they've got their hands on the football here in the second half. 21-19 Essex. McFerrin and Vaccaro with the setbacks. A couple of wideouts, right, Stempeck, and also Ryan McIntyre. In motion now, right to left is Stempeck. Penny on the long count. Penny on the handoff to Vaccaro off left tackle. Vaccaro out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. A pickup of 8. He fumbled the football, and Essex has recovered. Essex has recovered. Snyder on the fumble recovery. Vaccaro picked up good yardage, but Snyder was there to recover the fumble. So Essex, who thought they had the football before, gets it now. And that was a late fumble toward the tail end of the play, a pickup of about 8 for Vaccaro, and he fumbled, and Essex has recovered, and they have it 1st and 10 at the Raider 23-yard line. McWilliam back in at quarterback. McWilliam on the handoff to Hansen straight ahead. Gets it to about the 20. A pickup of 3. So Essex, who control the football here in the 3rd quarter, the fumble by the Raiders, and Jeff McFerrin there on the stop. And Essex will have it 2nd down and about 7 at the Raider 20. 4:45 remaining 3rd quarter. And Essex has a 21-19 lead. So the Raiders look like they dodged a bullet, and Essex gets the football.
They dodged a bullet, then loaded the gun back up again, and gave the football right back to Essex on the very next play.
Ken McWilliam back in at quarterback. Jamie McWilliam. They alternate on series. McWilliam pitches back to Hansen. Sweeps left. Inside the 15, 10. And he's inside the 5-yard line. Knocked out of bounds here near sideline by Jacob Conway. Picked up about 15 yards. They're going to mark it at the Raider 4-yard line. 1st and goal for the Hornets at the Raider 4.
And the quarterback, Jamie McWilliam, the junior, paid the price as being the quarterback on the option. That time he was knocked back about 10 yards just as he laid the football off.
Give him a 16-yard pickup on that. Rexford is in the backfield now. And the call goes to Rayum, the fullback. Nothing much there, maybe a yard or 2, driven back by a host of Raiders. Birajiklian was there, and so was Dwyer. It'll be 2nd and goal. They're going to say back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal for the Hornets, the Raider 4. 4 minutes remaining 3rd quarter. Essex 21, Rutland 19. Jamie McWilliam and John Nelson are both junior quarterbacks. They alternate on series for the most part. McWilliam in there now. Rexford and Hansen are the deep backs. Rayum the up back out of the wishbone. The ends are tight. Handoff now to Rexford off right tackle. He's awfully close. He's dropped just about at the goal line. Just about at the goal line. Picked up about 3. It'll be 3rd and goal. On the tackle was Jake Conway. 3rd and goal for the Hornets at the Raider 1-yard line. Now Stephen Fry comes into the football game. Comes in for Rexford. They mark it at the right side hash mark. Pouliot is the center. He's over the football. Fry and Hansen the deep backs. Rayum the up back out of the wishbone. McWilliam the quarterback. McWilliam goes to Fry, and he's in off right tackle easily for the touchdown. Essex now leads it by a score of 27-19. And that's it up on the fumble recovery by Snyder. A 1-yard touchdown run by Stephen Fry. 27-19 Essex. 3:05 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
5 plays, 22 yards, and it took exactly 2:11 off the game clock. And as a result of the Vaccaro fumble, Essex Junction showing what kind of football team they are, capitalizing off of the turnover, punching it in for 6 more, and a big 6 because Rutland had been moving the football nearing the half, and the one drive they had here in the 2nd half was stopped short on the fumble by Vaccaro.
Josh Gonillo in to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and Essex now leads it by a score of 28-19. That's your score. The Essex Hornets 28, Rutland 19. 3:05 left 3rd quarter. Back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Bulldog player. The Hornets got the opening kickoff in the 2nd half. Picked up a couple of first downs, eventually had to punt. Thought they had the fumble recovery earlier after the punt, but an inadvertent whistle. Apparently they had to punt again, and the Raiders ended up fumbling the football. The Hornets had it 1st and 10 at the Raider 24 after the fumble recovery by Snyder, and the Hornets cashing in the 1-yard touchdown run by Fry. Gonillo with the extra point. Essex 28, Rutland 19. The Raiders have some work to do. The kickoff comes to an up man across the 30, 35, and out across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. For the Raiders was Conway.
It's 18, Poller. The up man was number 18, Poller.
Was it Poller, or
yeah.
Was it 88, or was it 18? It was tough to tell from here. That was across the way. At any rate, the Raiders will have it 1st and 10 at their own 40. And they have the Raiders have been resilient tonight, though, bouncing back when it appeared that Essex was going to put them away. We'll see what happens right here. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Raider 40-yard line. Stempeck in motion left to right. Couple of setbacks behind Penny. Penny play action, looking to throw. Here's it out. Wants McIntyre. It's tipped and it goes incomplete. Tipped and knocked away by Hansen down around the Hornet 27-yard line. But after Hansen tipped it away, it appeared that McIntyre might have a chance for it coming back, but he couldn't quite come up with it. It was a nice play by Hansen defensively. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders, their own 40, as the clock stops with 2:29 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Brian Penny, we mentioned that the game will be on television tomorrow night, Channel 15, 8 or 8:30. Brian Penny is wearing number 22 instead of number 8 for TV viewers tomorrow night because of blood on his original jersey, so he had to change jerseys, wearing number 22. Stempeck going right to left now in motion. Got a man wide right. Handoff going to McFerrin. Takes it left and straight ahead and gets a couple to about the 42. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Raiders. Most of Hornets to bring them down. Give them an extra yard. Call it 3rd and 7. Raiders will have it at their own 43-yard line.
That pass play by Penny, looking downfield to McIntyre, just underthrown just a little bit. Had he put a little bit more on that pass, McIntyre would have had it for a big gain.
McIntyre wide right, Stempeck a slot right. Also, they got a man wide left. Penny with one setback, shovel pass, complete to McFerrin. McFerrin looking for room to the 50, to the Essex 45, and hammered out of bounds at the Essex 39-yard line. That picked up 18 of the pass play from Penny to McFerrin, and McEnroe Mucha on the tackle for Essex. And that was that little shuffle pass again that we saw earlier. Dan Marino and John Elway like to throw that. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Great piece of running by McFerrin after he caught the football. Told you the Raiders have been resilient tonight. They have it 1st and 10 at the Hornet 39-yard line. A couple of setbacks offset. Conway now, the wing right, is in motion right to left. Penny now, play action, looking to throw, throws left, and it is incomplete. He had a couple of men down around the Essex 23. It was intended for Conway. Also down there was Mayhew. Mayhew and Conway were in the same general area, and it went incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Raiders, the Hornet 39. 1:36 left, 3rd quarter. Essex 28, Rutland 19.
And in the Essex Junction press release here for tonight's game, it mentioned that the things that they must stop is Brian Penny's quarterbacking, Jeff McFerrin and Frank Vaccaro. Those are no secrets, and right now, Penny is really looking to air this football out on this drive.
Mayhew's wide left, Conway wide right, couple of setbacks. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. The Hornet 39 in motion right to left is Conway. And Penny on the handoff to Vaccaro. Huge hold inside the 30, 25, down at the Hornet 22-yard line. 17-yard pickup for Vaccaro. Rexford on the tackle as the Raiders pick up another 1st down here, and they have it 1st and 10. They're going to mark it at the Hornet 23-yard line.
I'll tell you, we're seeing the two different contrasting styles of running the football by McFerrin and Vaccaro. McFerrin, the straight-ahead power runner. Vaccaro, that time, he got about 10 yards downfield before anybody even realized he had the football. He's so quick, and picked up 17.
Barati is wide left. Also got a slot left. It's McFerrin and Vaccaro, the setbacks. Bliss is tight right. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Essex 23-yard line. Penny on the handoff to McFerrin, and McFerrin is dragged down after maybe picking up a yard, so he took it left. Ralph Perkins on the stop. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Raiders, the Essex 22-yard line. Is something burning here? Do you smell something burning? Is it I hope it's Channel 15's equipment and not ours.
That's nice to say, Jack. They bring us hot dogs. You hope they're machine
2nd down and 9
nice.
for the Raiders, the Hornet 22-yard line. That's where they mark it. In motion now. Stempeck back to throw. Penny rolls right. He's going to keep, and he's dropped at about the 17. Picked up about 6.
Number 63.
Jerome on the tackle for Essex, and Penny doing a nice job of scrambling out of the pocket after the downfield coverage was good by Essex Junction. And he had Jerome was the lone guy to beat, and had he cut to the outside as opposed to going inside, he would have picked up additional yardage.
They are going to mark it at the 16. The Raiders will have a 3rd down and about 5 at the Hornets 16 when we come back. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. After 3, our score, the Essex Hornets 28, Rutland High 19. Back with the 4th quarter after this 30-second timeout. Resiliency, the Essex Hornets 28, the Raiders 19. But the Raiders will have a 3rd down and about 5.
I think the burning smell you smelled
I thought it was
earlier, Jack, was probably that last run by Vaccaro.
Actually, as we look out now, it looks like they changed things just a bit here. It looks like the Raiders are about 3rd and 4 at the Hornets 17-yard line here. See, there's an example. I'm not sure if it was marked correctly from one end of the quarter to the other, one end of the field to the other, but the Raiders are a little closer. 3rd down and 4. We'll call it the Essex 17. Raiders going right to left here in the 4th quarter. Essex going left to right. They mark it at the right side hash mark. Raiders have a couple of wideouts right and a couple of setbacks. Vaccaro and also McFerrin. Stempeck is in motion right to left. Big 3rd down play. Pitch to Vaccaro. Sweeps right. They're going to stop him for a loss. Going to lose yardage back to about the 19. And on the stop there was Eric Tremble. So it lost a couple, and this is a big 4th down play coming up. It's 4th down about 6 for the Raiders at the Hornet 19-yard line. Early going 4th quarter. The Hornets lead the Raiders by a score of 28-19.
And Tremble had Rutland shaking on that play. He got in the backfield, and that's a play that's been really successful for Rutland offensively this year. That quick pitch back to Vaccaro. Tremble was not fooled. He made the stop.
So a big 4th down play for the Raiders. 4th down about 6 at the Hornet 19-yard line. In motion, Stempeck right to left as Penny barks him out. And Penny on the handoff to McFerrin straight ahead, and he gets just a couple down to about the 16.
Number 63, Josh Roman on the tackle.
And it will be Essex football. They take over on downs. Picked up about 3. He needed about 6. And Essex takes over on downs. 1st and 10, Essex.
Tell you what, if Essex wins this football game, that defensive play by Eric Tremble could very well have been the turning point or the deciding factor in this football game. 3rd and short, he gets in the backfield and throws Vaccaro for a loss of 2 on the play. In the very next play, McFerrin falls just short of the 1st down.
Yeah,
Tremble
actually,
with a big play.
They're going to mark it at the Essex 15-yard line, so McFerrin was just a little bit shy. Nelson back in at quarterback, and nothing doing as the handoff went to Derek Hansen, the 2nd man, and maybe a half yard. Vaccaro on the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Hornets just across their own 15. We'll call it the 16. 10:27 left in the football game. Essex 28, Rutland 19. So the Raiders have shown that they can bounce back. They've bounced back all night after having that early lead, 7-0. But that 4th down play by McFerrin, just a little bit shy. Initially, it didn't look like it looked like he was going to be well shy, and then after they spotted it, it was about a yard shy. We do have a timeout on the field. And so with a timeout, 10-11 remaining in the ball game. Our score, Essex 28, Rutland 19. We'll be back after this 30-second break.
Rutland, you got
Jack Healey back with Vince Allo and Nico Miles, our engineer Bulldog Blair. The Essex Hornets have it 2nd down and about 9 at their own 16-yard line. 10-11 remaining in the football game, and the Essex Hornets lead the Raiders by a score of 28-19. Tight right comes Jason LaFave. Also have a man tight left as they operate out of the wishbone, and they very seldom break the bone. Nelson, the quarterback. Nelson goes to Bishop off right tackle. He gets a couple to about the 18. Drop there. The Raiders want to get that football back. McFerrin on the tackle. 3rd down and 7 for the Hornets. Hornets have it at their own 18. That's where they mark it as Fry comes into the football game for Bishop. So Fry will be a deep back along with Hansen, and Rayum is the fullback out of the wishbone. The ends are tight. Third down play. Back to throw after play action as Nelson throws it up for grabs, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Jeff Snyder up around the Hornet 27-yard line. Well covered. Dwyer Conway was there. McFerrin and Stempek, and it was thrown up for grabs. The Raiders should have excellent field position as the Hornets will have to boot the football away.
Two Rutland defenders get no on that play. I believe it was Barrett Jicklin pressuring the quarterback on the play, first of all, that made him throw it earlier than he had intended. And secondly, a last-second dive by McFerrin to knock that ball away. And you're right, Rutland's going to get this ball back in great position as their two deep men are on the Essex side of the 50-yard line.
I'm just about at the 50. Stempek and McIntyre. Fry back to his own 10 to boot it away. And this will go to McIntyre at the Essex 49. Sidesteps 45-40, 35-30, and he's finally dropped across the way right around the Essex 25-yard line. What a return of about 24 by McIntyre. Fry making the tackle. He is the man who booted the football. When McIntyre grabbed it, he sidestepped the first man, and that really opened up the way for him to take off for good yardage. And the Raiders have the football. Apparently they're going to say he went out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
And Brent Bliss threw a huge block right around the 40-yard line. Just knocked the Essex defender right on his backside. Bliss coming back downfield to throw a big block, and that gave McIntyre more room to run the football.
So they say he went out of bounds at the Essex 27. First and 10 Raiders at that point. Hand off to Vaccaro straight ahead inside the 25 to about the 24. A pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. A tackle made by Josh Jerome. 8:37 left in the football game, and Essex has a 28-19 lead. The Raiders, of course, have to score twice. Barasa leads the club out of the huddle. He's over the football. Ferranti is wide right. And a wing left, a couple of setbacks. McFerrin and also Vaccaro behind Penny. In motion now is Stempek from his wingback spot on the left side. Handoff to Vaccaro, and he runs into a stone wall after maybe picking up a yard. Down to the 23. Josh Jerome on the tackle.
And the stone wall will be played. The part of the stone wall played by Josh Jerome on that drive. And you just mentioned it, Jack, that Rutland will have to score twice. And those two penalties on the extra points at this point in this game are looming large.
They gave him about a yard and a half. We'll call it 3rd and about 5 for the Raiders at the Essex 22-yard line. Ferranti is wide left. They have a man wide right. Couple of setbacks. Penny on the handoff to McFerrin. Tries to take it to the outside. He saw nothing up the middle, and he's dropped for a loss of a couple back to the 24. Josh Jerome on the tackle for the Hornets. Another big 4th down play coming up for Rutland High, and Rutland is going to call for a timeout. That earlier timeout belonged to Essex. This one for the Raiders. It'll be 4th down and about 7 for the Raiders at the Hornet 24. Big 4th down play coming up. Timeout on the field. We'll be back after this 30-second break. The Raiders have it 4th down and about 7 at the Hornet 24-yard line. 7:19 left in the ball game. Penny barks him out. Big play in this football game. The Raiders trail 28-19. Stempek in motion right to left. Ferranti wide left. Looking to throw. Penny drops it way back. Being chased. Fumbles the football. And it doesn't really matter. It's 4th down. It will be Essex football at the Essex 44-yard line. Not sure if the Hornets recover the fumble or not. It didn't really matter because it was on 4th down, and the Hornets will have it 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
Brian Penny took a shot as he was scrambling further and further downfield as opposed to upfield. And he was just on his bicycle trying to get out of Dodge as quick as he could. Nobody to throw to downfield. Is good coverage by the Essex secondary. And Essex is going to take over, and they've turned away another dangerous Rutland drive. as Rutland had it deep in Essex territory, and they just couldn't convert on second, third, and fourth down.
Same for the previous drive. It'll be 1st and 10 Hornets. They're going to mark it at the Hornet 43. Didn't catch whether they recover that fumble or not. It's immaterial because it was 4th down. McWilliam back in at quarterback, and he goes to a big fullback straight ahead. Mayhew got it across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Picked up about 3, close to 4 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 7 for the Hornets, their own 47, as Rexford comes into the ball game. And Atwood on the tackle along with McFerrin for the Raiders. Coming down at 6:20 left in the game, and Essex has a 28-19 lead. Hornets, with the ends tight, operate out of the wishbone. They seldom break it. McWilliam to Hanson off left tackle, taking people with him inside the Raider 45 to the Raider 44. 13-yard pickup and an Essex first down. Brent Bliss on the tackle for Rutland High.
Nice extra effort that time by Derek Hanson. He's the big fullback here for Essex Junction.
And he's been injured. He's limping off the field. So Stephen Fry will come into the football game. Hanson has an 80-yard touchdown run to his credit. 1st and 10 for the Hornets, the Raider 44. 5:51 remaining in the football game. Hornets, once they get into their rhythm, are very methodical out of the wishbone. Handoff now to Rexford inside the 40 to the 35 to the 34-yard line. Pickup of close to 10. Conway on the tackle. See where they mark it. It might be a first down. It is a first down, Essex. Hornets have it at the Raider 34-yard line. The end of the game, of Pasquale's 12th player, unsung hero for the Raiders, a J.P. Carrera and Sons most valuable player at the end of the game. Hornets trying to eat up the clock. They have a 28-19 lead. They have it 1st and 10 at the Rutland High 34-yard line. Rayum, Rexford, and Bishop are the setbacks, and it goes to Bishop, takes it right inside the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Steve Bishop, another touchdown, a 34-yard touchdown run. It's Essex 34, Rutland 19. Bishop has 3 touchdowns in the ball game. A 90-yard kickoff return, a 1-yard touchdown run, and this one a 34-yard touchdown run. Steve Bishop, and Essex has opened up a 34-19 lead.
4 plays on that touchdown drive. Covered 57 yards, and just the exact time on that drive was 1:53, and the big play was Hanson capping it off with a 34-yard touchdown run. He's got 156 yards rushing tonight, does Hanson.
Cornillo with the extra point, and it is blocked. So the extra point is no good. And getting in there to block it was Jacob Conway. So the extra point no good. 5:05 remaining in the football game are scored. Essex 34, Rutland 19. Back with a kickoff after this 30-second timer. 34-yard touchdown run for Steve Bishop. The try for the extra point blocked by Conway. Bishop with a big night. Bishop has returned a kickoff 90 yards for a touchdown. He has a 1-yard touchdown run and a 34-yard touchdown run. And the Hornets, who had a 21-19 lead at halftime, are wearing the Raiders down a bit here in the second half as the Hornets control the football, but a couple of big 4th down plays for the Raiders they couldn't cash in Essex territory. As here's the kickoff, it'll go along the ground and covered by the Raiders at the Raider 36-yard line. Ben Anderson covering up the kick by Snyder. So the Raiders will go on the offense 1st and 10. They will have it at their own 36. The Essex Hornets, if they do go on to win this game tonight, would clinch a playoff spot. Then you would have to figure it would be Essex, Middlebury, Brattleboro, Mount Anthony.
And everyone else on the outside looking in.
Essex, Middlebury, Mount Anthony, and Brattleboro. So everything would be done for sure. Penny looking to throw. Play action. Drops it way back. Under pressure. Steps up and picks up maybe 2 to the 38. Did a nice job after he was pressured. Josh Jerome on the tackle. It'll be second down and about 8 for the Raiders at their own 38-yard line.
And I keep thinking back to that big third down tackle by Tremble for Essex Junction. The tackle and the 2-yard loss against Vaccaro. That may have been the turning point in this football game. They were already up big in the game, but Rutland was driving, looking to close the gap, and Tremble made a big play defensively.
A couple of setbacks behind Penny, a wide out right, a wide out left. Penny looking to throw, throws left, and it's incomplete. He had Stempeck up around the Raider 49-yard line, the little slant in pattern, but it was incomplete. Stempeck couldn't quite hang on. It'll be third down and close to 8 for the Raiders, their own 38-yard line. Penny's thrown the ball well tonight, all in all, and clock stops with 3:50 left in the ball game. Essex 34, Rutland 19. Conway in wide left. They got 2 wideouts right. Third down play for Brian Penny and company. Penny takes it left on the option. Penny to the 40, and he's dropped there. Picked up 2. Tackle Casey Long. Fourth down and 6 for the Raiders, their own 40-yard line.
Well, Penny has thrown the football very well tonight, and part of that being the protection that he's been getting, and he's really had a lot of time in the pocket, although in the second half he started to scramble a little bit more, but the offensive line doing a nice job of downfield blocking at the line of scrimmage.
And, of course, going for it, fourth down and 6 at their own 40-yard line, trailing 34-19. Here's the pitch to Conway, looking to throw on the option. Conway hears it out down the middle. He wants Penny. Penny makes the great catch. He's down at the 29-yard line of Essex. He had the ball pop up into the air and hit him on the pads, popped up into the air, and he came down with it. Great catch by Penny, the quarterback. The throw by Conway. The Raiders on fourth down, coming up with a first down there. First and 10 at the Hornet 29.
Very reminiscent of Lynn Swan in the 75 Super Bowl against Dallas. He made that play, the bobbling catch, and catching it as he fell down. Nice job of concentration by Brian Penny.
31-yard pickup. Conway to Penny. What a catch by Penny. First and 10 Raiders. The Essex 29-yard line. Penny looking to throw. They're going to sack him. All the way back to about the 37-yard line. It lost about 8. They'll have it second and 18. Fry on the sack.
I think Penny's coming out. He might have hurt himself. He's holding his left arm. He's shaken up badly on that play. He's walking around on the far sideline. May have just got his bell rung a little bit. And coming into the game is number 17, Pat Dwyer.
Yep, Pat Dwyer replacing Penny at quarterback. And the Raiders are going to call for their second timeout. So we got a timeout on the field here. 2:26 left in the ball game. Our score, Essex 34, Rutland 19. Back after this 30-second timeout. 18 at the Hornet 37-yard line. Pat Dwyer is the quarterback for the injured Brian Penny, who apparently injured his arm. Hopefully it's not serious. Dwyer looking to throw. Here's it out down the right sideline, and it is incomplete down around the Essex 8-yard line. And the pass was intended for Brett Bliss. Well thrown by Dwyer, but they misconnected on that one. It'll be third and 18 for the Raiders at the Hornet 37.
Well, Bliss read the play perfectly and actually headed back towards it, and Brian Penny's back in the football game. So that's great news for Brian Penny and the Rutland team. But Bliss, concentration-wise, came back as he knew the ball was underthrown a little bit and almost made the reception falling down.
That was well thrown by Dwyer. Wide left, Conway and McIntyre. Third down and 18 for the Raiders, the Essex 37. Penny looking to throw, steps back, avoids one man being pressured, takes it right, and they're going to drop him. And let's see. They're going to drop him about the 36 for a minute there. I thought the ball came loose. People were scrambling all over the place.
And Penny's the first Raider to head off the sideline, takes his helmet off and heads right to the table.
It did come loose, and Essex has recovered. Yes, there's finally the indication. It did come loose, and Essex has recovered. First and 10, Essex, the Essex 37. I thought it did come loose, and people were running around, but it was never an indication. Because that was a long way from our view, and certainly our view was blocked here. The first and 10, Essex, the Essex 37-yard line with 1:49 left in the ball game. Hornets lead at 34-19. Nelson is the quarterback again. Rayum straight ahead. Nothing much there. He maybe picked up a yard, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 9. Rayum on at the carry. Mark Rayum was a 5'10", 178-pound junior. Virtually everybody in there on the stop for Rutland High, the mid-portion of the defensive unit, as Mike Norman makes some substitutions here. Picked up about a yard, maybe 2, actually, when it was all said and done. Late call on the first down after the fumble recovery. 2nd down and a long 8 for the Hornets, their own 38-yard line. Nelson on the handoff, and nothing much there. The handoff off the right side, McEnroe Mucha maybe lost about a yard. Conway on the tackle. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Probably time for one more
actually
play.
About a half a yard he gained. They ended up giving him a pretty good spot. So it'll be 3rd down and a long 7 for the Hornets, their own 39. 30 seconds left in the ball game. The Hornets are going to go to the playoffs. The first team and the only team in Vermont that has made the playoffs every year since the semifinal format was instituted, according to the Essex notes here. And the handoff goes straight ahead and across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Rayum on the carry. Picked up about 8 and a first down, but that will be the end of the football game. McFerrin on the tackle, and the Essex Hornets have won it by a score of 34-19. Final play of the game, Rayum took it up the middle and picked up what appeared to be first down yardage, but the Essex Hornets, who had a 21-19 lead at halftime, established themselves. We saw wishbone football for sure in the second half as Essex controlled the football, and the Essex Hornets have won it by a score of 34-19, and the Hornets have clinched a playoff spot.